All right, so Fed raises rates, and basically, I think this is what was expected already. The Dow was up 300, now it's only up 198 and falling. Very interesting kind of delayed reaction here with these markets. Now, as far as the bonds are concerned, like I said, the bond futures are strong, up 12.30 seconds at the 144 handle. Bitcoin futures are up 257 at the 37.55 currently. And now the Dow's only at 186. It's falling like a stone. Let me see what the hourly looks like. Yeah, if you look at that 1 hour chart, prices are collapsing pretty good here. We hit 1400 again today in the Russell 2000, and now the market's pulling back, coming off. We'll see how the markets really digest this, but there's something I want to bring to everybody's attention. I noticed that, just watching, how these markets have been trading, how they've been moving. We had a rally alert today in the NASDAQ 100 futures, but I noticed that I think if my memory serves me correctly, I think it was the Dow. I think the Dow is the only one of the stock indexes that is hanging on to a bull market complexion. All the other indexes are in a bearish configuration. So I thought that was very interesting as well. Not all the markets are agreeing as far as what's going on here. And I think a lot of that has to do with the Fed manipulation. As you guys know, they've come in and they've been doing so many different things with the markets and playing around with rates that it is just totally dislocated the markets, for a while. I think it's going to be like this for a while. If the markets do not recover and start a recovery mode, a rally mode, I'm here to tell you guys that you're about to see bear market movements like you've never seen it before. Today signals the last chance, the last day, the last chance for these markets to get it together. If they don't, you're going to see panic selling into the new year. And it's going to be terrible. Remember that January we had, what was it? January 2017 or one of those, 2016, remember? I think that we're about to see that 2.0. And the reason being is because, the markets have just pretty much gone straight up for several years. So now you're going to get people panic. They don't want to give back all their gains. So it's going to be a rush to the exits. So you're going to see massive profit taking coming into play here. And there's really not a whole lot they can really do about it. Case in point, crude oil has been, totally just falling apart, just almost going down in a straight line. And I believe that's been manipulated to hurt Saudi Arabia and to punish, the Middle East. But here's the thing about it. If crude oil prices remain at this level, where they are now at $47.25 a barrel, or even head lower, that's going to start to hurt the U.S. as well. And people they're not trying to hear that. So it's almost like punching your own self in the face. You know what I mean? So they're going to need to do something about that. What can they do about it? I don't know. Crude oil is a highly manipulated market. It is long overdue, though, for some type of serious technical bounce. And at this point, as far as the amount of energy that's in it, if it does bounce here, you're looking at a bounce back to the $60 handle at least. So that'd be a nice, nice little bounce to play. Another thing here that I've noticed too is that the precious metals have been kept at bay as well. There's not really a lot of, safety buying at this point. If there was really a fear out there of a stock market collapse, if you will, for lack of a better word, then traditionally you would see bond prices and precious metals spiking right now. But you're not doing it. You're not really seeing that. You would expect more. We're just not getting it. So we'll have to see how things digest. But now the Dow is only up 122 points. And they claim that the longer run unemployment rate has fallen to 4.4% versus 4.5% previously. And as you know, they've totally manipulated and finagled how they report the unemployment numbers, so they're not really an accurate depiction of what's going on. But I will say this. Can everyone still hear me okay? Okay, excellent. I will say this. In talking with some shop owners, mom and pops and stuff like that, I have noticed and realized that a lot of people don't want to work. There's a lot of, help wanted signs all over the place around in my city, and people don't want those jobs. Okay, here's the sell-off, folks. It's coming hard now. I kind of felt that is what was going to happen, and now it's taking shape. Yeah, they didn't want to, they don't want to work. I mean, there's been a lot of employers reporting no call, no shows. People come to work the first day and then quit. Just all types of things like that. I've never seen a time like that. But there you go. Take a look here at the 1 hour chart of the Russell futures I got up. Look at that. Look at that bar. It's given up all of the gains today and it's now turned negative. So anyone who bought into this is getting smoked right now. And that's the markets for you. Normally, they would have been a lot easier to trade of late. Like I said, if it wasn't for all of the manipulation by the media. What they like to do is come in and they like to say, okay, how can we move the market today? And they can move it up or down just with the news that they report and then the way that they report the news. So, for instance, the trade tariffs have really been spooking the markets. And therefore, any talk of a meeting coming up that may be positive, even if it's not a meeting scheduled, the markets will like that and they'll rally. Then when the truth comes out, okay, a meeting has never been scheduled, and then China may put out something saying we're not talking to the U.S., then the markets fall down. So it's just a scary thing. Now, here's another thing I want to tell you guys, what they've been doing too, to try to talk up the market. They've been doing parades. And what I mean by that is they'll parade someone that everyone knows and respects, per se, to help cheerlead and prop and talk the market up. In this case, today, they have on Mr. Alan Greenspan. As you remember, he was the Fed chair back in the go-go 90s. And in all fairness, probably the most famous Fed chair we've ever had. And he's credited with, the book Irrational Exuberance and all that other stuff, talking about the tech bubble bursting and all that. But lately, they've been having him come on to Bloomberg and stuff and talk about, what he thinks. Now, don't forget, Fed speak is what really was born when he was in term. So he's the champion of Fed speak. He knows how to talk for 20 minutes and say absolutely nothing. You have to try to decipher what he's not saying with what he is saying. So that's where that whole idea comes from as far as Fed speak. It comes from him. But see, now that he's not no longer a Fed chair, he can speak a little bit more freely now about what he thinks, and so that's why they bring him on. But for the most part, he's there to try to, you know, cheerlead the market in only a way that he can. Notice how you don't see them bringing on Bernanke. You know, you don't see them bringing on the chick that was there. I don't forgot her name now. You know what I'm talking about. You don't see them bringing her on. Nope, it's Alan Greenspan, because he's notably the greatest cheerleader the markets have ever had, other than Bill Clinton. Greenspan and Clinton were the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen of the stock market. All right, so they're hoping, that his speak will calm and soothe the markets. Now, let it be known, let it be said that right now we're hitting new lows in the Russell. All right, and you see right here the inverse ETF TWM. You see where it's at. Now it's funny that the futures are down right now, but the Russell long ETF is up $1.41 and trading still near the highs of the day. So that should tell you the disconnect in these markets. It's a huge disconnect. Look at the S&P. Look at the SPY, the SPY, up $2.81, but the E-mini S&P is down 2 points. Likewise, look at the diamond, the DIA, up $2.80, and the Dow is only up 42 points now. The Dow has dropped about 300 points since this announcement. Okay. And they're talking about the inverted yield curves and all that. Now bonds are exploding. We just hit 145.05, up a full point in the bond market. So you're seeing a lot of hocus pocus going on here, and you have to ask yourself a question: why are they bringing Mr. Greenspan out? What are they afraid of? If you allow free markets to be free markets and just do what they do, the markets normally will take care of themselves. They don't need you to manage and do too much with them, But when they come in and they start trying to control these markets, that's when you start coming into problems. And that's what happens. And so we're seeing the ramifications of all the meddling. It should also be noted that, this incredible bull market that we've seen that I predicted back in 2013 is over now. So the question is, where do we go from here? Now, it took this long for all the stimulus to make its way into the market, because that's normally what happens whenever the Fed would lower rates. It would take up to 18 months to see the effect of that. And so you knew that you were good for 18 months. You would see a bull rally that lasted for at least 18 months. But the more they lowered interest rates, they were kicking the can down the future even more. The more they lowered it. So, you're having the enjoyment now, but you're going to pay later, kind of thing. Well, rates were kept low for what, a decade? It seems like they stayed at zero. So that's at least 10 to 20 years worth of rallies right there. So you can make the argument that we still have at least maybe 5 years left of bull market rally because of all that stimulus. But here's the trick, and the thing that I want to talk about. Because they've been raising rates, that cuts down and takes back the years of the rally. So it's almost like, okay, if I give you, let's say, $100 every day, and I do that to you for, a year, right? You're like, man, this is great, I got $100 a day for a whole year. I'm good to go. But then in the next year, the following year, I said, okay, now I'm going to take back from you $200 a day. How long will it be before I've taken back everything I've given you, and now you owe me like double what I gave you? You see what I'm saying? That's what's happening when they raise as they raise these rates. That's why they've been trying to, prolong it as much as possible. But every time they raise the rate, they're taking back one of those stimulus things that they did to the market. So you're taking it back. So we would have had at least another 5 years of bull run, but as they've been raising these rates, we're taking a year and at least 6 months, year and a half back every time they do that. So they've raised rates, how many times this year? Like 3 times or something like that. So you're looking at that 5 years we would have been rallying gone. It's wiped out. It's wiped out. The only thing that will give the economy a break right now would be the low crude oil prices. But if you know anything about crude oil, like I've always told you, it's the most gangster market in the world, on the planet. So it's not going to stay low for long. Those prices are about to boogie right back up again. And remember, crude oil is one of those commodities where they don't really have trade limits. So crude oil can move $10, $15, $20 in a day. No problem. All right. And the market is so big that it can absorb multiple contract trading without really moving the market. It's not as big as the bond market, like the bond futures, where I can trade, a couple $1 million worth of bond futures and it not even make a splat in the market. So crude oil is like that too. It's a big market, but I don't think the prices are going to stay where they are. I think they overshot their initial target. Remember, $30 a barrel was the average price for decades. Then after the first Gulf War, when crude oil shot up to like $40, $42 a barrel, it just spiked up there like that. That was the sign, that was a pointer, all right, of new contract, meaning that would be now the new base for oil in the future. And so far, what have we seen? We've fallen, we've pulled back from the 60s down now to 46.30, right? But what I just say, the $42 spike high from the first Gulf War in 90 is now the floor. So that $42 is a powerful floor now. So, so good support. And I don't think you're ever going to see prices hit that low ever again. We're done. I think, yeah, it could probably go down. It could probably test 43, scare people out, shake out the weak hands. But I think between where we are now, between 46 and 43, is going to be the support base for the oil. And I think starting in 2019, you're going to see crude oil finally bust that $100 again. But I don't think it's ever going to fall down again in our lifetime, at least not in our lifetime, especially if the U.S. gets its way. All right, so say goodbye to those gas prices that we're seeing right now. You better go fill up your car while you still can. I know here in the DMV, I filled my car up the other day for $1.99. $1.99. I don't remember seeing $1 anything for a long time. I can't remember when gas was $1 or something. That's how long it's been. And the funny thing is too, a lot of millennials now, this is norm for them, the price they've been seeing. But we remember the 99-cent gas and the 89-cent gas. Those days are long gone. We will never see those again. So we're going to see a lot of different things in play starting right now. Today is day one. Remember this day as we move forward into 2019. Remember this day. This is a very important day. Okay? Fed is raising rates while trimming their forecast for 2019. All right. And they're talking about at least 2 hikes in 2019. That in and of itself is going to kill your bull market aspirations. We've seen the highs for this year, and not only that, but we may have seen the all-time highs for quite a while. I see a bear market on our horizon that's here to stay. In order for us to get a Santa Claus rally, let me explain to you what my definition of a Santa Claus rally is. A Santa Claus rally happens anywhere from, the week leading up to Christmas to the week leading up to Christmas and going into the end of the year, or the last week of the year. What I believe is happening right now is that even if we do get that rally, it's not going to materialize and equal to nothing, especially if prices keep falling in the stock indexes. A real Santa Claus rally has you finishing the year in the black. It guarantees that the market will end in the black, all right, up for the year. What good is a rally if you still don't enter the market in the black for the year? See what I'm saying? So I just don't see that possible right now. Can anything happen? Of course. Anything can happen. That's the world we live in with all this economic uncertainty. But right now, the handwriting's on the wall that the highs are definitely in, and we're not going to rally anymore. Any rallies you see will be bear market rallies. And as you know, bear market rallies can be very violent. Market can go up really strong, really hard, really fast, but they always get sold. Those rallies and bear markets always get sold. So that's what it is. Okay, so now Powell is going to hold a news conference. So now Greenspan has done his job. Now Powell just has to take the market the rest of the way so that the market can rally into the close. See, now the Russell's up for almost 5 points now. It was negative. We took out yesterday's low, and now it's reversing. And now the Dow is back up 140. So mad volatility right now going on in the markets. Mad volatility. And now that he's about to speak, depending on how he Fed speaks, this is going to determine the course of the future, starting from now to go into whether we have a Santa Claus rally to put the market back in the black, or is the market going to utterly and completely collapse in price? We shall see. And forgive me, I'm eating my lunch, late lunch. If anyone else want to speak, have questions, a chart you want me to look at, whatever, speak now or forever hold your peace. What you got? The floor is open.
Hi, Dex. I hope you're well. These days and weeks, I look at the American shipper, like the oil carrier, the tanker, all those things. If you want to look at those charts, there's a couple, one day look good, one day look bad, but overall, weekly, I think we are in for like a kind of rally. If you want to say your opinion about that, thanks.
All right, no problem. Okay, so we're going to look at dry ships, and we're going to look at ticker TOPS. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we're working with. All right, I see, yeah, dry ships chart here is a mess on the weekly, only because of just how all these reverse stock splits and whatnot. So let's take a look at the daily instead. All right, let's see what we got. All right. All right, so basically here on the daily chart, You can see the market's in a sideways pattern right now. All right. It's trying to build a base for rallying like it tried to back here. Failed early though. And now it's trying to get off and running again. This one meets the requirement, the $5 share requirement. If you guys recall, I normally will not short stocks, that are $5 or less, just because of, the sky's the limit. Your upside risk is just so large. So if I'm going to trade a $5 or less stock, primarily it's just going to be long only entries. So like when I get a signal up in here, I'll get long. I get a signal up in here to take profit, I'm out. Wait for the next buy signal, get long. Up in here now, I'm out. That kind of thing. So you can play it, but just play it like that. You don't want to hold it more than anywhere from 3 to 5 days on average. And you just have to do it like that with the dry ships. Just take long only trades at this point. I know a lot of people like the shorts, even penny stocks. That's on them. That's their foolishness. I don't get down like that. You guys know what I taught you with that. So dry ships, yeah, it's just a long only. You're just looking for short little bounces. Now you have to trade more shares, obviously, to make it worth the while. But if you can clear $300 to $500 on a 3 to 5 day hold, there's nothing wrong with that. You never go broke taking profits, just as an example. All right, so let's take a look now at tops. TOPS. All right, this one here is a penny stock trading at 95 cents. All right, same thing here, except for with this one. Unless you know something about this company, I don't know. Like for instance, if this company has some kind of thing they're working out, because you see the spike here, gap filled, back filled, and then you collapse. You notice that? I wouldn't play it because right now it's in a bear market and it's really struggling. Looks like it's going to head lower actually. So this thing could drop to 40 cents, no problem. But if you know something about this company and you want to hold it, there's nothing wrong with a 95-cent stock, putting some of it in your back pocket and then just forget about it until something happens. But normally, shares of stock are priced at a certain way for a reason. So if it's this cheap, there's a reason for it. I mean, you just came off of this here on the daily chart where it hit $2.70 and then quickly collapsed, dropped below $1. So unless you already own this and you're just looking, wanting to know when is it going to rise again, right now it's hard to say because on the daily you're below the Kumo cloud. And I would use the same strategy as with the dry ships. You're just looking for long entries only. If you can make something, if it's going to move enough to give you some money, then so be it. But just looking at it, I don't see those ranges like you did back here. If you had daily ranges like this, it'd be easier to get some kind of action because you had the volatility back in here. But as you can see, that volatility is gone. It's just a slow bleed, a slow grind. Sort of like my darling back over here, was it the TCS? Remember BTCS? It's only 2 cents now, man. Huge disappointment. And yeah, I still own it. Don't ask me why, I just do. Anything that had to do with the blockchain technology, I was always trying to see, what I could get, what could happen. As you can see, it made a high of 53 cents at one point, and now it's dropped all the way to 2 cents. Even a penny was the low. I'm just holding it. I'm not even trading. I'm not even like doing long only entries because it's not enough intraday, volume and volatility that I can do something. So I don't waste my time. I own it. I bought shares, and I'm just gonna forget about it. And if one day I wake up it's $20 a share, then great. If not, hey, it's just a little investment I did. It's not like I put millions of dollars in it. or even thousands. I didn't, you know, a few $100 and that was it. So it's no biggie. It's one of those things that if you own it, you just forget about it. It's a penny stock. Just forget about it. Some people, though, they try to build strategies around day trading penny stocks. I don't see the point. Your time could be spent doing something else. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather, you know, play something that's going to have some kind of volatility, some type of volume, because you need liquidity. You got to be able to get in and out of these markets. And when we talk about trading, you're talking about going long and short, not just, you know, investments. All right, Nat Gas. Somebody wants to know about Natty Gas. Let's take a look at that. I have not played in the Natty Gas for some time. I've been watching it. Here on the daily, you can see it really got up to almost $5. Now it's back down to $3. You got Rampage right in here, though. You see that Rampage coming up right in there? You got Rampage. So it could pop right back over $4 easy on the futures. If you don't want to play the futures, because as you know, this market has a nickname called the Widowmakers market. You can also play the equities, their ETFs. Let's take a look at them. Left-hand side of your screen, bottom left-hand side, the first highlighted row is the futures contract. Right below that is the single ETF, ticker UNG. All right, it's trading at $30.09 today. You can also, if you want to look at getting long the gas, you could use UGAZ, UGAZ. It's the long 3X ETF. DGAZ is the inverse ETF. So if you want to play the short side, you can just buy the DGAZ. Like right now, it's up almost $4, while UGAZ is down over $4. So these plays are a lot better. You know, more bang for your buck if you're gonna look at, you know, short-term holding. Like I say, 3 to 5 days max at a time, or until you can realize a good profit and you can get out. Just have to be careful of your pattern day trade rules. That's why as a habit, I always hold my positions overnight. That's what I do. Now, if I hold it overnight and then the next day it looks like the market's going to pull back, I just go ahead and pull my trade and take my profit and run and be done with it. So that's what I do. And with futures, you can't be married to them anyway because of the contract rollovers. So you gotta, you know, try your positions and take profits and learn not to be too greedy. All right, anybody else? Anything else? Anything else y'all want me to take a look at? Yeah, I realize I haven't been making my end of day reports because I've been in the lab, man. I've been hustling for you guys with these price triggers to make sure that you're, you know, in a situation to make profits in these crazy markets. So I've been just working on that.
Maybe I have a question, Dex. I don't know if you take if you keep yourself updated on the Bitcoin fork that there was, the Bitcoin SV and the Bitcoin Cash. Did you took any update on that on your site?
No, I sure didn't. I have not been following that as much because I just been taking a look at the futures. And right now, yeah, it's up a little bit. Let's pull up a chart so we can see what I'm talking about. But no, I wasn't aware of that fork. Was it significant enough?
Yeah, well, in my opinion, I really think it's the start of a big poker game. Okay. And I really think that it might be possible that the BTC is just a ticker. BTC is not, I think, BTC by definition and by the Bitcoin concept, BTC is not Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin Cash was created, because Bitcoin is just a concept. It's just a theory. It's not just a ticker. So that's why Bitcoin Cash came out.
Right.
And then there was another conflict inside the Bitcoin community and Bitcoin Cash. So they split away Bitcoin SV, which means Satoshi's vision, and the other ticker remain Bitcoin Cash. But Bitcoin Cash mainly is someone else's vision, and BTC is Blockstream's vision of Bitcoin. That's why the new one is Satoshi's vision of Bitcoin, meaning the original thing. And I wish I could share my screen, because I had that one that you talked, BTCS, in my account for a long time. And on the 8th of November, it made a pop overnight because it's on the OTC market.
Mm-hmm.
And in my account, I had $5,000 in that stock, that it was a market value of 5,000.
Right.
And overnight, it marked to 360,000. And then the day after, it came back to the 5,000. So it was like I don't know what it was, but I couldn't see any pointer on any chart.
Is this Kevin? Is this Kevin?
Yeah, it's Kevin. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and make you the presenter. That way we can see your keyboard.
Yeah. Good. Oh, so that's my account. That's my screen. Okay, so I have it right here.
All right.
See, I saved it. So on here, November, in the morning, I had like $5,000, and then on the 8th of November, see, it popped to 340K, and then the day after, it came back down. So once you said, oh, this could be a $40 stock overnight, but I think it will happen, and it's all because of the Bitcoin SV. If you follow all the I want to say propaganda and the talks on the social media about the Bitcoin community,
right?
There's some speaker who are very like the Craig Wright things and Calvin Ayre. Those have a big company in the stock market, on the OTC. They are registered, so they're just not like a social media random guy. They have a lot of skin in the game, and I really think BSV will become 1-to-1 plus with the ticker BTC, because the Bitcoin SV is by the miner for the miner. I mean, Bitcoin is before everything. Yes, it's a kind of a technology, but it's basically an economic model, and everyone made they tried to kind of hijack BTC,
right,
to make their own private coin, right? Who wouldn't want to hijack the next world money? But that's why the miner, all those who are registered in the stock market, they were seeing their investment collapsing because their investment in the Bitcoin is being hijacked by random dudes. So that's why they created the Bitcoin SV, which is meant to scale, and they're openly saying that they're already doing 64 megabytes block, and they have a end of year target. That means two weeks from now, 128 megabyte block.
So let me ask you this. So are you saying that the Bitcoin fork has made it so that now there are different variations of the Bitcoin?
But not variation, because Bitcoin is just one. There's one true concept, because it's like money. What is money? Money is mainly a concept. Right. Money could be, we know it's gold and silver and dollar paper, but it could be many things. Right. So it's like Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and all those things. There's mainly just one Bitcoin. So, and as the professor, the Professor Craig said, he is really going in deep into the market and the commerce theory plus the technology theory. And I really think BTC might be, like he said, I'm not making things up. I'm just taking what the professor said.
Right.
And a lot of people, the level of hate that is on him, and there's no reason, because he's like, if if we take his word from scratch,
Right.
he's right. I mean, the you know, the market is like not the wild beast in the nature, and we can't fight that.
Right.
And I think we clearly see that the ticker BTC is, I don't want to say never because it's always open for speculation, and we don't know what's going to happen with time. But I think the ticker BTC will never go back to its all-time high. And I really think the BCH ticker is like dead man walking too. And the real future in the Bitcoin is BSV. And the thing that I look the most closer these days is the ratio between BTC and BSV, which is a little bit up and down, but it's really looks strong.
BSV, like B as in boy, S as in Sam, V as in Victor?
Yeah, Bitcoin Satoshi's vision. Yeah, that's the last fork. So Bitcoin for me, like I explained to many people, is like a dragon. Okay, but with the time, the dragon have now three head, the three end of the chain, the three ticker. And clearly BTC is something's wrong with the ticker BTC. That the head is like falling off. The dragon lost one head over time.
Right.
And I really think the second head, BCH, have been chopped off. And a lot of people, like just on Twitter, the real people that have a lot of skin in the game, they're openly saying it. So me, I'm catching it. Like, yeah, they're right. I don't care if people hate the theory, but they are right. So I think you should start to look at the BSV, because like I showed in my chart, in my little bump account, something is going on behind the scene. And you're right that this could be a $40 stock overnight if the BSV, like if the computer, like it's all a question of buy order. Who will set the buy order on the ticker? Well, BTC, nobody can make money with BTC because it's a 1 megabyte block. You get fee from 100 transaction a block, so it's like $10. But they already showed with they show with the math that BTC, they have to scale, and they really say in 2 years from now, BSV will have two tetra byte block. And it's meant to that I can send a video plus a money plus a text message to you. So in your wallet, you'll receive a video from me, because that's a 2 tetra block. There's room for that, so that the money is going. The computer, they're not stupid. If it's for the miner, by the miner,
right?
The computer is going to plug on that, and all hell break loose if my vision is correct.
All right, so let me surmise what you're saying here. All right, so as you take a look here at the Bitcoin futures chart I have up, you can see it's trying to form a base for a rally, but hitting its head up here at the 3,800 resistance level. If I understand what you're saying, if all the platforms switch to the BSV, then for whatever reason, Bitcoin has a potential to get back up toward a longer term overhead resistance of 4,800. That would be interesting. I'm going to have to look into that. So is there any other tickers that I have on the sheet that you see problems with like this?
Problem, you mean?
Like you think, like you said, you think BCH and all of them are having some problems and they're probably about to go away. You know,
yeah, BTC and BCH, they are like like I said, it's a dragon with 3 heads. It's a chain with 3 dead ends, and only one will survive, because only one will get the interest of the buy order of the participant and the computer.
Gotcha.
because we shall not forget that those chain, like the professor speak, we can all attack each others. So there is only one network that will have a big incentive to protect.
That makes
And
sense.
yeah, and BTC, no, but BTC, something's wrong with BTC. We can clearly see since a year it's been leaking. Should be world money, and it's like blood leaking all over place. It's something's not normal, and and we all know it's have been hijacked. BTC is not Bitcoin. It's a private token from Blockstream. Same thing with BCH. BCH became a private token of the Chinese Bitmain.
Makes sense.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. All right, so let me get this other chart out the way. We'll come right back to that. Someone asked me about JNUG. You can see JNUG here is trying to pop out also, which is interesting because if you look at GDXJ, it's down today along with the JNUG, but this whole sector, man, with these miners, they've had a hard way to go for quite a while, and as long as the price of gold keeps falling, it's gonna make it not even worth it for these miners to take it out of the ground. It'd be easier if it grew on trees, but it doesn't. Right now, it looks like the market is finally trying to build a base for a rally here. If you look at the weekly chart on the JNUG, we did hit a low of $6.13. And now switching it to the daily chart, you can see a little bit better how the market is staging a rally, and we may get the trend lines to rise above the Kumo cloud as with the price right now. So it's looking like it wants to make a good bullish run here. I would definitely say that JNUG right now is definitely in play right now and should be watched because the potential, it looks like, is actually there this time, which is quite interesting. JNUG has been a trip. All right, so getting back to the whole crypto thing. Yeah, they're supposed to be bringing more crypto futures online in 2019 as well. So the cryptocurrency debate lives on. It's definitely, not dead by any means, shape, or form. I think what we're seeing is what I said in the beginning, which is at the end of the day, it's only going to be but so many players. Right now, you got like 3,000 coins, and I think it's going to be narrowed down to maybe 10 or 20 of the big
Yeah,
three.
you're right.
You know,
And I really want to specify that there will be no Litecoin and Ethereum because everything that the ticker BTC was missing have been added in the BCH and the BSV. So like why Litecoin was created? It was created because they wanted a little bigger block than one. Everything makes sense. I just read what the professor said, and I just want Dex to you to look at the ratio between BTC and BSV. That I think will be the most significant things that we have to look close, because if there, like I say, it's one chain, and the block number 1 from BSV is the same. It is from the same protocol of Bitcoin. So I think there's a lot of misinformation, and I almost see like a major conspiracy in there. And like you said those guys, I mean, they're very, very rich and powerful. They're mad at the Bitcoin because they thought it was a joke, and when they understood it was not a joke, it was 15,000, and they wanted to enter at their price.
correct.
Well, they forked twice. They made a big drama for more than a year. They made global market lose billion, and now BSV is $100, and it's a good price for them. You see it, kind of the conspiracy. Plus,
Yeah.
sorry.
So where do you someone just wrote in the chat room that they can't find the ticker for BSV. What exchange or what have you? Where are you finding that ticker at?
Okay, a lot of exchange are in the political drama. Some call it BSV, some call it BCHSV, but mainly Raman, coin market cap is BSV, and yeah, it's BSV or BCHSV, depending on the exchange. Because, like I said, there's a lot of corruption and misinformation and deceiving.
All right, so
because there's a lot of conflict of interest.
BCH, which is Bitcoin Cash, is that the same as BCHSV or no?
Yeah, BCH is Bitcoin Cash.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to follow. I'll write it, okay?
Okay.
First, there was BTC.
Mm-hmm.
that became BCH.
Gotcha.
And BCH became BCH ABC.
Right.
And BCH SV. ABC is the name of the company. It's not hard. When I say Bitcoin Cash became a private token of the company ABC. The ABC hijacked the token. So SV is like to remember Satoshi's vision. It's not my vision. It's not your vision. It's Satoshi's vision.
All right. So let's say what you're saying is correct, and the BSV explodes tonight, you know, and rises several dollars. Would BCH benefit from that or no?
No, because it's another chain. It's another dead end. He will suffer actually because it's, like I say, it's a 3-head dragon and we're cutting off 2 heads. So there's a lot of blood that will leak and the rest of the blood will go to the right head.
Wow, hold on for a second. I'm going to try to see something real quick. Because I believe what you're saying, but I like to see what happens when I try to find it. So BSV. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. So far, nothing. Let's see. Because you never know. Sometimes things come up, and then other times they don't. Know.
I know it's on Coin Market Cap.
Okay.
That's for sure.
So it's not on WorldCoin yet.
Or instead of BSV, just write SV. If they change if they put something else on the ticker, it's gonna appear SV.
No, that's Save Droid, so that's not gonna work. All right, so let me go and do
Coin Market Cap.
All right, let's see.
And like I said, there's a lot of conflict of interest, okay? So that's why even we see it's not normal that WorldCoin, this website, is not normal that they don't list. Conflict of interest. And everything have already been said. Many exchange and website are in a conflict of interest because they don't accept the deep concept of Bitcoin, which is 100% capitalism. And like the economic doctor said, he said, once you cannot mine big block, he said, you go on the side and you're out of the game. So that's why many people are upset. It's like if me and you, we just invested $100,000 in a small factory for computer, and then the big shark beside us, you say, no, fuck the 8 megabyte. We're going to 64 and 1,000 megabyte.
Right.
Well, me and you, our investment just is worth less now. So that's why the conflict of interest. But it's good for the Bitcoin. You want the big player to come in, which made a lot of poor people sad.
So your BSV is new then?
Yeah, it's new, but not, you know. It's new, yes. It's just a continuation of the chain. The fork is new, but the token is still from the Genesis block. From block 1. And they're really trying to mind the game, people. But the billionaire people on the Twitter, they are honest. They are really honest. They say there's one Bitcoin, and like I'm telling you, Bitcoin is a concept. It's like money. What is money? Money could be a lot of things, but Bitcoin cannot be a lot of things. Bitcoin is one thing, and the Bitcoin, it is a predator coin. It is a predator. He won't let anyone else survive, because if I use Litecoin, well, the BSV, they're losing one client, so it's made to be a monopoly. The network, the ecosystem is predator. So the BTC and the BCH will have their head chopped off, and everything has been said. So it's a belief or disbelief. But I just want to share with you.
All right,
I moved everything in my BSV.
I'm gonna have to add this and put it into the system and see what we come up with, because this is looking really interesting. And I noticed at the top of the site it had it in it was giving it to you in BCH.
Yeah, because it's from the split. So it's just a continuation. It's not a new token. It's a continuation. Actually, the BCH is the new token. From the theory, it's the BCH, the new token. It's saying when the BTC made the fork, BTC became the new token because it was not Bitcoin anymore. It was a new concept.
Wow.
So BCH was the real Bitcoin. The concept, I mean.
All right, hold on. As we're talking, guess what? The Dow is down 200 points. Getting closer to going off the cliff here. Things are getting interesting. Very interesting. See, that's what I'm talking about, folks. All the manipulation and all the foolishness that they're talking about on the mainstream media, the markets aren't having it. They're not listening. They're not buying it. And people are seeing the truth now. So the only question is, where do we go from here? And I think we're going to go down. Now look at the Nasdaq down 80, almost 83 points. S&P down 18. Russell is now down 13. Just took out yesterday's low altogether. And look, notice how they're attacking the precious metals. Like I told you, look, gold down almost $6, trading right at the lows of the session. So is silver, 14.66, trading at the lows of the session. They're taking away the safe haven plays, if you've noticed. The only other alternative is bonds, because now bonds is near the high of the session at 145.02. Didn't I tell you that they were going? Everything was hinging on what Powell had to say. His job was to carry the markets to the finish line, but he's not. Greenspan got the markets pumped up. When Greenspan was talking, we were sitting at the highs of the session, and now we're at the lows of the session. Just like that, just off of a few words and some Fed speak. That's what I'm talking about. That's the craziness we're in now. Unbelievable. I hope everybody's watching the price triggers and following this like you're supposed to, because these markets are about to get real dangerous. I think we're going to see that panic selling coming into play now. We got a new daily low and a new weekly low in play in the Russell. Look at that. And your momentum is starting to pick up. It hasn't picked up yet. It's starting to pick up. And look, your trend lines are starting to cross below the Kumo cloud. Yeah, this is pretty significant, folks. I don't think this is going to end anytime soon either. Yeah, JDST is in play for Friday, definitely, as long as JNUG continues to pull back like it's doing now. It's hitting new lows. See, so JDST is the play. It's up $2.70 right now. And for the stock indexes, yeah, definitely. Look, the Dow's only off 88 cents. Come on, man. It gotta be more than that. So right now, folks, the inverse ETFs are in play. 100%. DXD, Quid, SDS, TWM. Yep. DGLD is in play too, because your gold is about to hit a new low. Yep. And your oil is trying to bounce a little bit. We're at 47. You got a $2 trading range in the crude oil. So Doug is also in play right now. All right. Any other questions before we end today's session? Because it's time to go shopping. Time to get in some of these markets, get some of these inverse ETFs. Everybody good? All right. Well, I will see you guys in the trading room. Another one.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
If you want to talk more, Dex, about the BSV and those things, just hit me. I read a lot, and I can tell my view to you instead of you going to research by yourself. Then I tell you what I see, and then you start with there.
Outstanding. Yep. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up in a little bit. I need to.
All right.
Get some things.
Anytime or tonight or any time you want. Just
will do.
You know my email.
All right, man. See you guys in the trading room. And yes, this is being recorded, so I will be posting it so everybody who missed it can check it out. All right, everybody. All right. See y'all in the trading room. Peace.